guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video. This is another one for my nephew's baby album, and this is Moira's mood board challenge for autumn 2018. And then I'm also doing the Puttin On The Glitz challenge for paper issues, which is just to use something metallic, glittery, whatever suits your fancy. So there were two mood boards we could pick from. I chose this one because I really like the rich colors, the dark wood grain, the wheat colors with the burlap. It just really spoke to me, so I pulled out that dark wood grain. It's kind of like the rings of a tree, which I thought was really appropriate for a baby album because it's documenting a baby's growth. So I thought a tree's life rings were, you know, a nice symbolic touch, even if he's not going to pick up on that. And then I did have a scrap of burlap left over from my Waco, Texas page, so I pulled that in since I saw that on the mood board. So I'm going to try and get that scrap used up as well. And then for the Puttin On The Glitz challenge, I just found the most glitteriest stickers I can find. Those ones are called... Do I even have them written down? They're the newish ones. I'm gonna find them. Hang on a second. I love them. They're super, super glittery. The backside's white thickers and the front's gold. It's called the Lucky Ones. Yes. And I just thought the Life is Beautiful was a good title because this is when I first met him in the hospital the day he was born. And I was just in awe by his tiny little hands. I've never really been around newborn babies before. I mean, I know they're tiny, small humans, but just, oh my goodness, look at the size of his hands. That's my finger. I have little fingers, and his little tiny hand wrapped around my finger. Oh my goodness. I loved this picture. I knew it needed a whole page to itself. So yes, I thought Life is Beautiful was a good title. So I loved that those were in those super glittery thickers because I feel like that does the paper issues challenge justice. I'm just going to get these base layers down. I'm using the Little U 6x6 paper pad again from Crate Paper. And I just pulled out all of those cut apart so I could have something to layer up. But I thought the photo just needed a little something to add some definition between the layers behind it, so I did just mat it in some white paper. And then I'm just going to go ahead and get the title down because I know where it's going to go. I'm just going to sandwich the photo with the title, basically. So, and then I'm also going to use those 3 gold hearts. There we go. I find it helps with the spacing when you're putting your title down just to start with the middle letter and then just work out from there. I like how that looks, and then I just know I want to mimic these patterns up in the opposite corner. This is one of my favorite styles of pages. I do this a lot where I have the title and the photo in one of the bottom corners, and then the opposite diagonal corner I'll do a little cluster with the journaling. So just trying to add little bits of layers with the scraps that I have. And then I pulled out, you see my little cat dish there, it's kind of off screen a little bit, but I did go through my One Canoe 2 hashtag sticker book, and I pulled out some stickers that have the wheat in them because that was also in the mood board, and then I just pulled out some of that rich yellow coordinating color word stickers that I'm going to try and get on here as well. And then this is a scrap, I think it's from Kaiser Craft, but I don't have the branding strip, so I'm not entirely sure. But I went through my scrap drawer because I wanted some larger pieces, but I didn't want to cut into a full 12 by 12. So it's kind of like a sweater print, kind of. But it had this diagonal on it, so I cut it out to use as a border, and I really like how that looks. So I'm going to get that down, and then I just saved the little bit that I'm about to cut off, and that's going to go in the opposite corner so I can have that mirrored in both areas. Those papers, I'm sure if you listen to any of the designers who have made any of these sticker books, that they're really thin stickers, which is awesome for planning and stuff like that, and that way they really got a lot in their book. But they did just say if you wanted them to be a little bit more substantial, just pop them on some cardstock and cut them out, and then you can just use them like a die cut. I didn't mind really that they were thin, but I wasn't sure how many layers they were going to go on top of, and I wasn't sure exactly where they were going to go, so just popping them on a piece of paper and cutting them out gave me the freedom to move them around without it sticking everywhere. So, but they're pretty much going to stay where I put them, so it would have been fine. I just used my the Paper Studio 2-inch scallop circle punch as a base for that one sticker, and that's gonna be the element basically for that top cluster up there. I'm just gonna cut a little banner so it sort of mimics the banner I have underneath the photo. And it just gives it an interesting shape rather than it being just a rectangular block of paper. And then I'm going to get that border piece layered up there too. And I have that itty bitty scrap of burlap left over, so I figured I'd try and find a way to mimic that up there as well. So I thought about cutting it with one of my heart dies. I know my big die cutting machine could do it. I don't think my diamond press would be able to handle something that thick. But I had my scissors right there, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to trace the die really quick instead of dragging out my die cut machine. So that's what I did. So there's a little burlap heart that goes up there. So I like how that mimics the burlap, and I'm glad I got that all used up. That burlap that I've been hoarding forever is now done. They're all on pages, there's no scraps left, and I used all of it. And then I cut another piece of this paper that I cut that scalloped border with up there, and I was going to try and use it down there just so it was somewhere else, but it doesn't end up making it. And I'm just trying to get those stickers used up. I had that little cut apart yellow banner down on the photo, so I wanted something yellow up in the top, so I just went back to the One Canoe 2 hashtag sticker book and found one of those yellow hearts that's in that color. And then I'm just going to put my journaling down there. I'll read it in a second. I'm just going to draw my lines in because I can't write straight. And it's just a little note to Bennett. It just says, Grandma and I could not wait to meet you. You were the sweetest, most perfect baby, and even though we couldn't see all of your face because of your eye mask, I was still in awe of you. Even your tiny little hands I could look at forever. Love, Aunt Kelsey. Yeah, he and my sister, it's my sister's baby, they had different blood types, so his bilirubin was off, and I had never heard of Billy lights before, but it was super cool. He had to be on them for a few days, but there are these lights that help, I guess, stabilize his bilirubin in his body. I have never heard of that before. That's super cool, though. I'm familiar with bilirubin just from running blood work at work because I'm a vet tech, but I've never seen it applied to human medicine, especially this way, so that was kind of cool to see. He was a happy, healthy baby, but he did just have an eye mask on the first few times we visited him to protect his eyes from the lights. I think I'm almost done here. I know I've mentioned in I'm going over with glue just to make sure that burlap sticks, but this is all done. I added those enamel dots. Those are on trend too by my mind's eye, and I think this page is done. Thanks guys for watching. Bye.